for being here. By the way, I want to give you some good news. You're in here. There are 3 times as many people who are outside trying to get in here right now. So just at least be grateful for the fact that you have a seat and you're inside where it's warm. And all those other people are out there saying very, very naughty things about not being able to get in here. And I'm not even going to tell you what they're saying. I am amazed. When we saw the number of cars coming in, you'd think that there's something going on here tonight in Iowa. Well, there is. And in fact, it's one of the most important goings-on in a long time. Many of us, not just me, a lot of other candidates, Democrat and Republican, have been all over your state over the past year. We've been talking to you and meeting you, sometimes coming to your homes, sometimes personally, other times in your mailbox or maybe through your television set. It all comes down to tonight. Everything that we've been trying to say to you, and sometimes everything that our opponents have been trying to say to you about us. But tonight it's all up to you. You're going to make a decision, and by the way, the whole world is watching. Some people think that the world is watching the Orange Bowl. What a waste of time. There's something really major going on in Iowa, and you're a part of it. The rest of the country doesn't get to do what you guys get to do. You actually help to set the course for who's going to be the leader of the free world. You're going to help decide who will come to your homes over the next 4 to 8 years in your homes, in your television sets, and look you in the face and say, here's how your country is doing. Regardless of how tonight turns out, I want to tell you, I've never been so proud to be an American in my life. Watching the way that you take seriously the responsibility that you have as a state to help in this process. And I know this, that if we're able to pull this off tonight, it'll make political history, because nobody in the history of the country has ever been outspent 20 to 1 and still won. But tonight, it's not about the money. Tonight, it's about the message. It's about whether or not this country is still run by the ordinary people whose votes counts as much as anybody else, no matter what their net worth is, no matter where they live, no matter what their last name is. It means that your vote is just as important as anybody else's. I'm not going to stand up here tonight and give you a long speech. First of all, they won't let me. And even if they'll let me, you won't let me, because you don't want to be here all night. But the other reason is because I could try to give you 1,000 reasons why you ought to vote for me, or 10,000 why you shouldn't vote for somebody else. But most of them probably came here with your mind pretty well settled. You didn't just come here to think about it. But I hope that you know that if you vote for me, I'm going to remember why I ran for office and why I believe you voted to give me this incredible opportunity. And that's because I think many of you know that I come from the same roots where many of you come from. I didn't have it easy coming up. Most of you didn't either. I'm not complaining about it. I'm grateful for it. Made me appreciate where I am. I know from whence I came. As the prophet said, look to the rock from which you were hewn and the quarry from which you were dug. I know what it was like living in the little rent house on the 2nd Street in Hope, Arkansas, with a dad who worked 2 jobs and barely paid the rent. With a mother who lived in a house with dirt floors and outdoor toilets, and was the oldest of 7 and had to work and help her siblings get through. And I know that my parents had a simple dream, and that is they wanted my sister and me to have a better life than them, and they were willing to do anything to make that happen, anything. And they did. My dad never graduated high school, and nobody upstream from me ever did. They wanted me to have the education they couldn't get, because they wanted me to be able to live the American dream. And ladies and gentlemen, if someone had told my parents when I was a little guy, your son will one day, he'll be the 44th governor of the state of Arkansas. I'm sure they'd have said, look, we want him to get an education, but let's not get carried away. My dad took me to see a governor make a speech when I was 8 years old, and he took me, and I'll never forget his words. He said, son, I'm taking you down to hear the governor talk, because you may live your whole life, and you may never meet a governor in person. My dad wouldn't have believed that his kid would be the 44th governor. But tonight, with your help and the help of good people like you across this wonderful state, I'll be on my way to becoming the 44th President of the United States of America. elected to be the ruling class, I still believe you guys are the ruling class. And if I'm elected, I will be the serving class. That's the way it's supposed to work. And a lot of folks who get elected forget that. And I'll remember why you elected me. And that's to stand for life and for family and for lower taxes, for secure borders and a strong military. I understand why people came to this caucus and not to the Democrat caucus. Unless, by the way, you are here thinking it was the Democrat caucus, and boy, are you in the wrong place. So again, I want to just express, even if you're voting for somebody else, I would say my heartfelt thanks. If you're voting for somebody else, why? But my heartfelt thanks to the people of Iowa. You guys put up with more than most people in the country even understand, with all the politicians wearing you out over these past several months. And I'm sure some of you are saying, we just can't wait to get it over with. But tonight is the night. You are the people upon whom the world will be watching. And I will be watching. And I will be grateful. And I'm so grateful to live in a country like this, where we, the people, still make the decisions. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a great evening. Thank you.